So my name's Dr. Andrea Livesey, and I'm a senior lecturer in the history of slavery at Liverpool John Moores University. Women's right to choose really encompasses so many different issues historically. So when Roe versus Wade was revoked, it was the Dobbs decision 2022, it meant that the Supreme Court had handed back power to the states to legislate on this issue. So really that is showing the Constitution playing out in real time. It's the interaction between federal and state power that we can see there. So it's really significant. So women didn't get the vote in the United States until 1920, but before then, the way that women were able to interact with the state was through the lens of something called Republican motherhood. Now, this is something we should remember really only applied to white women, but white women were seen as having political sway through their role as mothers and as wives. They were there to birth the next generation, to carry on this great American experiment. Women's right to choose. It isn't just about abortion. It's also about the freedom to give birth in a way that is safe to you, that feels familiar to you, and a way that is culturally specific. We see tightenings on this over time as well. So under slavery, the majority of births in the South, at least, were attended to by black women, often enslaved black women. And this is both black births and white births. But as we move past slavery, as we go into the 20th century, we see acts being passed that limit women's abilities to choose their own birthing environment. For me, it would be Margaret Sanger. So Margaret Sanger was a white woman. She was a nurse in the early 20th century at a time when talking about reproductive rights, talking about things like contraception was a taboo in American society. Sanger started the conversation. So she established a birth control clinic in New York, in Brooklyn, in 1916, and she really struggled. So she was charged under obscenity laws, for example. But to Margaret Sanger, women's right to control their own reproductive destiny was an issue that could potentially break a cycle of poverty for white women in New York. And it's important for us to remember that things that happen in the United States can affect us here too. We should keep a close eye on US politics.